right, Hodesh Tov and Yeg Samek Rosh Hashanah. Many of you know we have begun a new biblical year. A little bit of confusion, and that's kind of why I want to jump on here and do this impromptu Tense of Israel. I'm not going to keep you long. Hopefully, no more than 5 or 10 minutes, because I don't think that it's really that big of a deal. First of all, let me say, for those who are ending Rosh Hashanah tonight, I know that me saying Rosh Hashanah at the first month of the year causes some people some consternation. But Rosh Hashanah literally means the head of the year. We believe that this is the head of the year. It is the first day of the first month of the biblical year. Now, some people that we know, we have friends in Texas and Arizona and Nevada and California and Ohio and Missouri. We have friends who sighted the moon last night, and many of them are right now ending their Chodesh Tov, their new moon celebration. However, we at Awaken to Torah and many other people in those same states that I talked about have made the choice to defer until tonight. So while some people are ending their Chodesh Tov, we are entering into it. We are now saying Rosh Hashanah, Happy New Year. We hope that you have a blessed year. But I said that with those who were celebrating it last night as well, because I don't think that this is a point of contention. I know that there are those out there that try to make this a point of contention every time it ever happens. I'll just tell you, many years ago, probably 25 or years or better, we ran into this same scenario where the clouds it was cloudy in Israel on the 29th day, and they couldn't spot the new moon. And it was spotted, I think at that time we were in Florida. I think that's where we were. So half of the ministry wanted to go ahead and declare it a new year, and the other half of the ministry said, no, it has to come forth from Jerusalem, or it has to be confirmed in Israel. Many of you know that way back then is when we were trying to rediscover the barley, and I don't want to go into a big calendar teaching, okay, but way back then is when we actually planted barley in Jerusalem. We were waiting for it to arise and become Aviv. We had people all over the world watching for this. It was kind of a big thing where we started going back to a biblical calendar and not relying solely on the Hillel 2 calendar. And since then, I mean, various calendars have crept into the faith. We got a honeymoon period of maybe 5 or 10 years of just there being 2 arguments. Some people thought we should still be on the Hillel 2 calendar, and other people thought we should go ahead and everybody transfer back over to the biblical new moon sighted calendar. And then other calendars came in where, some people said, well, the new moon begins at the conjunction. And then other calendars came in, like the Enochian calendar and the variations of it. And, here's the thing. We at Awaken to Torah do not want to argue with anybody about a calendar. Okay. I personally have taken this stance for many years, simply because the Father pointed out to me that not one person who that I know who are on one of these other calendars are doing it to stick it in the face of God. I don't believe that. I believe that each person, for whatever reason, is trying to follow God to the best of their ability. I guarantee you that He's going to set us straight when He returns. Awaken to Torah is going to be in that group that's going to line up for our little spanking and say, or his little chuckle saying, ha, you thought you had it right. And set us straight. I think that's going to happen to a lot of us. So most of the people who celebrated it last night um, I was rejoicing with them. And then today, and this is the main reason I'm coming on. Today, I get message after message after message that this person's coming against you, and this person's speaking against you, and this person's committing Lashon Hara against you because you didn't declare a new moon last night. Okay, now we're getting into different issues. We're not talking about a calendar issue when we're talking about somebody talking about me personally. If you've done that, you're guilty of Lashon Hara. I forgive you, but calendars are not a thing that we need to be jeopardizing our salvation, our souls over, speaking about another in a negative way without going to that person. So let's say that first and foremost. So I personally am not speaking. If anybody tells you I have spoke against somebody because they celebrated it last night and not tonight in a negative way, that is absolutely a lie. Okay. What I always say is we're all seeking the Father. And the only thing that I ever say negative is, why do people allow these simple little things to cause division in the body? Okay. Because seriously, I promise you, if you invite me to your Passover celebration on the 6th and I can make it, I'm going to show up because I know that you're doing it for the Father. I hope that if somebody invites you to their Passover celebration on the 7th and you did it on the 6th, that if you can, you go join them on the 7th as well. We are trying to figure this thing out. All of us are. This is the silliest argument that I have been involved in, and it's happened several times over the last 30 years. But I always find this one the silliest, okay? Because it's just a personal choice. Because I'm not going to sit here for an hour giving you scripture, which I could, or 2 hours or 3 hours. I could. But the same is true with people who decided to celebrate it last night. They could give you everything that they. I'm going to tell you that I have zero problems with somebody who physically sighted the moon last night, and there were plenty here in Oklahoma who sighted it last night. There were plenty in Texas. I mean, and normally we would say yes, it's a new month, okay, but because it was not cited in Israel. I'm just telling you, Awaken to Torah's stance, okay? I believe we are right, but I don't believe that they're wrong. I don't know how much plainer I can make that. I believe that we're right in the stance that we take, but I don't believe that they're wrong either, okay? In fact, I was genuinely rejoicing with them because they got to see the new moon last night and I didn't. Me and 16 people were standing out on a hill looking at the clouds waiting to see the new moon, but that's another story. And because it was not cited in Israel about 25 years ago, Awaken to Torah and the leadership of Awaken to Torah made the decision that we would, and it was because we really got burnt by believing a story, okay? I don't want to go into all the details about that. But we, at the leadership of Awaken to Torah, made the decision at that point that we would never declare a new moon again unless we had confirmed sightings in Israel by trusted people who we know physically with their eyeballs sighted the new moon first. And then verification in the United States as well, as the moon moved across the world. But we wanted to see that the new moon was spotted in Jerusalem, Israel first. All right. There's a reason for that, and I'm going to give you one scripture. I'm not going to talk about a bunch of scriptures, but the scripture that we used that was the main focus of that is Isaiah 2:3. It says, "And many people shall go and say, 'Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. Okay, so we want that aspect of determining when the new moon happens to happen in the land. Okay, because we have now taken possession of the land. Now, with that said, let me go to the other side of that and talk about the people who celebrated it last night. They are not wrong, okay? They're not wrong, because the first time we cited the new moon went in Exodus 9 and Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16, when the Father told us to look narrowly for the new moon, Exodus 16:1. When the Father told us to look narrowly for the new moon, we were not in the land. We were in Egypt. And for 40 consecutive years after that, we spotted the new moon outside of the land of Israel until we finally were able to go into the land of Israel. So then, and only then, were we allowed to spot the moon in the land of Israel. So those people who have made the decision, no, wherever we are in the world, when we see the new moon, that's when we're going to declare it. They are not wrong. But those people who have decided that they will wait, they will defer to Jerusalem, because we know that that's where the commandment is ultimately going to come from, are not wrong either. It's crazy how both people can be right. That's why I can, in good conscience, celebrate with them last night and celebrate with us tonight, beginning tonight. That's why if somebody invites me to Pesach this year on the 6th, I'm probably going to go, just so I can show that I am 100% in agreement with them. Ours will be on the 7th. Our high holy day will be beginning the evening of the 7th. Through till the evening of the 8th, and the last high holy day of unleavened bread for us will be the evening of the 12th through the evening of the 13th. However, those people who started last night, their high holy day will be on the evening of the 6th through the evening of the 7th, and their last high holy day will be on the evening of the 11th through the evening of the 12th. Now, I ask you, in the spirit of unity, whether you cited it last night or you're going with tonight, in the spirit of unity, if you know somebody who is doing it differently, go with them and support them. Okay, let's quit showing the world that we're a bunch of fighting pack of dogs that just want to turn on each other and rip each other to pieces. Let's get this thing together and just love each other where we're at. Because both people who take both stances are right. I think I've just wholly proved that. If you think that I haven't, I'm sorry. But that's the stance we're going to take at Awaken to Torah. We think these people are 100% right. We want to support them. I want them to support us, and I want us to walk together in fellowship as brothers in the faith. And that's all I have to say about from Awaken to Torah tonight. Heg Samek to those who are ending New Year's, and Heg Samek to those who are walking into it right now. Blessings from the tents of Israel. We'll see you again next time. Let me see if I can get this thing out here.